up, YouTube? Topaz Yates back for another daily review, and this one is to that Boosie badass Fuck the Police times 10, and I'm giving this the red light because it is really comical as you break it all down with everything that's going on here, you dig? Because this song is ultimately inspired by an event where he was in the mall or something, I believe, with his people, and then he ran into a racist police officer who pepper sprayed him, and then pepper sprayed him again, then pepper sprayed him again, and then after that took his jewelry bag that had like $1 million worth of jewels in it and claimed that they didn't have it and such, like ultimately tried to steal it. Now recent events have come out saying that he got that jewelry back and such, man, but yet he still released this song where he's ultimately saying exactly as the title says, is saying fuck the police all the way. But yet, here's the thing that makes this hilarious, because it seems as though people have forgotten some of the things that little Boosie has said about the black community. But don't worry, I haven't forgot, and matter of fact, let me go ahead and play some of it right now.
I just feel like African American is the worst race in the world because, first of all, we kill each other, you know. People always talk about this racist stuff, but the white man ain't waiting in your bushes with a chopper. The white man ain't trying to take your rims off your car.
No, he's not.
The white man ain't doing all this wrong. We doing this to each other. So how can we say F the white man? He ain't doing nothing but when you get in trouble doing his job. Guilty. He ain't doing nothing wrong.
So Boosie, you're telling us all that black people are the worst people that's out here. That is black people that's robbing and stealing your rims and all that, when it's these white police officers that tried to get $1 million of jewelry up off of you. Now all of a sudden, since you got your ass whipped, now that you got yourself pepper sprayed and all of this, then all of a sudden it's fuck the police, when not that long ago it was, oh, the police officers are just doing their job. I thought that he was just doing his job by beating your ass, Boosie. And with this in mind, when you break down the lyricism, it makes it that much funny as well, where he's trying to gather support, where he's saying that Baltimore, Baton Rouge, and Charlotte, we all need to come together and get retarded on him. Like, nah, bruh. And then he wants to say things like, look at how they do a nigga and all of that. Like he's trying to include himself with everybody who's been struggling, but yet obviously, as he said on record before in the past, he doesn't feel that way. The reality of this situation is the fact that he had his coon wake-up call, in which these white supremacists out here do not need any coons and such no more, so they throwing you all under the bus. But now that you, little Boosie the rapper who got a little bit of money, have experienced the same racism that everybody is getting and such, now there's an issue. I am not trying to hear none of that shit, dude. Like, you were happy just being the coon, thinking that these white people weren't gonna come at you and all of that because you got a little bit of money. You feel as though you are accepted in that culture when obviously you wasn't. But now that you got your wake-up call, don't come back around us. And another thing that makes this joint hilarious is the fact that the song is absolute garbage here. He overtly wanted to spread this message over creating a quality song and such. And if you go back in the past of these types of songs, starting with the original Fuck the Police with NWA, for its time period, it was a super dope song and such. Like, they went in and said these things, but yet they overall came out with a quality track on top of that. And that's exactly what you're not getting here, man. You're getting a lack of lyricism. It's really just him babbling on and him being angry. The production, the hook, all of it was garbage, dude, and it all snowballs together into one of the most hilarious songs that ever was. But a quick recap here, man. The positives that I'm taking from this is absolutely nothing unless you want to get a good laugh out of your day. The negatives is everything. But this concludes today's review, man, and now we're going to jump into a brief instrumental from underground producer Darwin Vega before we jump into the news and then jump into an article from downloadpaz.com. So today is one of those days where both the article and the news are one and the same, because someone who recently passed away, Charlie Murphy, man, may he rest in peace. He died from leukemia, man, and he was one of the funniest people that was out there. Like, if you go back and check all of the movies that he was a part of, these were some of the best black comedies there ever was. Like, looking at Harlem Nights, looking at CB4. And he was still active with a role in Black Jesus, and he was also active in The Boondocks, whether it was going to come back or not, man. Like, he definitely put in that time, put in that work. But his death ultimately is what inspired this article, man, where every day you got to go ahead and push towards something that you want to do. Because sadly, there's too many people out here who's lived twice as long as Charlie Murphy has, but haven't really lived as much as he did, if you feel me. Like, the things that Charlie Murphy did because he followed his pursuits of happiness, doing everything that he wanted to do. He helped a lot of people out in the comedy landscape, and then he had a ball while doing it all the way, man. And if you can't live as much as he did doing things that you want to do, then you are honestly going down the wrong path. It makes no sense spending a lifetime doing things that other people want you to do instead of doing things that you want to do. Charlie Murphy dying at age 47, which is really young these days, man. It just goes to show you that you got to live every day like it's your last. Tomorrow is not promised to you, man. So go ahead and do what you want to do. I hope you enjoyed the show. You can follow me at Twitter up there. And you can go to downloadpass.com, that's down there, to read today's article.